What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's time for episode 2 of Rockies franchise. This is a limited series I'll be doing probably 4, maybe 5 seasons, kind of depends on how the 4th goes. However, if it goes anything like the 1st, I'm not sure we're getting a 5th because it's rough right now, folks. We are right at the All-Star break, and again, if you know where to look, obviously you can see what the record is, but I'm going to take you through what we've been doing so far here. First off, we're going to start with the predictions. They put us at 57 and 105. I've never seen a prediction that low, or I can't remember one. Let me just say that. I know it will sometimes have 100 loss seasons, as you can see here with the Tigers, but 57 and 105 is some true stank. And yet we still had a top 10 hitter with Chris Bryant getting into the simulation, so that's pretty cool. What's funny about that, what's truly hilarious, is that they overshot the mark, because we're rocking a hot 341 win percentage right now at 31 and 60. Going into the break. So they thought way better of us than we've actually performed. Look, it's been a rough first season. You know, we're not going to spend too many episodes on this season. We're at the All-Star break right now. We will be getting through the season into the off season in the next episode. There's no need to languish in year one. We are setting some foundational things with personnel, maybe get a few acquisitions that can be with us for the future. But for the most part, we're just laying some groundwork and trying to get forward here. However, I did make one big trade shortly after episode 1 was recorded and before the season started, and it's a biggie. We got Hunter Brown in a massive deal with the Astros. Now, here's how it breaks down. We gave up Elias Diaz, Ryan McMahon, Brendan Rodgers, Zach Veen, Angel Chavile, and Brian Serven. So 2 catchers, third baseman, a second baseman, a outfield prospect, and a pitching prospect, who I've actually seen become good in some sims. You see the really interesting 2 pitches there. I can see a world where he pops off, especially with Houston. But in return, we got quite a bit as well. We got Hunter Brown, a foundational piece for the rotation, in my opinion. We got Pedro Leon, an interesting utility type player, does strike out way too much to really make him great. I think he'll have to either leverage the park or find a way to improve, because 35, even the 40 is really rough. But really strong defender, particularly in the outfield, has some speed, has a bit of pop, bit of eye. 25 years old, just feels like it's a good fit for this team right now. Corey Lee, who can catch a bit. Now, he doesn't play much defense back there with a 50 ability, lower than I like. Could be moved off catcher when Drew Romo's ready, which probably won't take too long. Drew Romo is the future at catcher here, so Corey Lee was always seen as a backup catcher, maybe a first base, DH type for the future anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Then we also got Forrest Whitley, who's working in the minors. Now he's got 30 potential. He's not particularly special. As you can see, things aren't really going all that well, and he has a 35 control. And then Blair Henley, who is just an extreme ground ball 60 movement guy, 26 years old for AAA. Just, you know, if you need to come up and eat up some innings with the movement, hopefully wouldn't get destroyed, but is getting destroyed in AAA Albuquerque, so might not be much better in the majors there. Brown, of course, is the prize here. 60, 60, 45, extreme ground ball. I love Hunter Brown. I've gotten him in other sims. Maybe I overpaid a little bit here. I don't know, because we also moved off of the Brendan Rodgers deal, which isn't bad. Oh, wait. Brendan Rodgers? No, Ryan McMahon's deal. Okay, I was like, Brendan Rodgers doesn't have a deal. We moved off to the Ryan McMahon deal, which also isn't crazy, I will point out. But, you know, 9, 12, 12, 16, 16, that's not awful. It's really not. But I just didn't really want him. I don't know. It was one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I not a player that I was dying to have. I mean, he plays good defense, can hit a bit. Obviously, the park certainly helps. Of course, he doesn't need it. He's killing it in Houston. So when there's no negative Coors effect on the road, he's just dominating at home and away, righties and lefties. So huge breakout season for McMahon. But, you know, it wasn't an easy trade, trading him and Rodgers with Diaz and Serven, so our two catchers there. But, you know, there was also the fact that Rodgers is going to miss a ton of time here. You see he still has 2 months left with the shoulder, so he wasn't even going to be part of this season. That was part of it, too, is that we were losing a whole season from a player, you know, who's supposed to be an important piece in a limited sample. Maybe if we were doing long-term, indefinite amount of time, maybe I stick with Rogers in that case. He's got work ethic, decent fielding, decent hitting. There's a world where we can grow and make him a cornerstone. With a 4 or 5 year run, one of them on the shelf for pretty much the entirety of it. Now, I will say, pretty much the entirety of it, when we're going to be bad, it's not so much that he was going to change our future. It's more that he would have had another year to develop and establish himself. So we lost that year to this shoulder injury, and we don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back from the shoulder injury. So Hunter Brown brought in with some pieces, a lot of pieces gone with McMahon, Rogers, Veen was a pretty decent piece there too. So we had to give to get, but it moved some money. I think it moved in some pitching that could be instrumental for us, and that's how we're going to win is pitching. And Veen, I don't really think has the range to play for us, and another just heavy swing and miss guy too. So, he was a top 100 prospect. It was tough to deal him from that aspect, but I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work necessarily. So then the predictions were terrible. The farm system, I wrote down top farm systems because I was going to look at where our farm system ranked, but it has since changed because now that we're at the break, so we can look at it, but I think it has changed since the beginning of the season here. And you can see that we sit 6th because some of our other pieces have started to pop off. One in particular, which was our other big trade, we decided that we can't have any McMahons. So Ryan McMahon, of course, was already gone. We traded a guy named Chris McMahon for our number 1 prospect there, Andrew Abbott. So here's Chris McMahon. I don't really know why they didn't want a little bit better, but we've also had Abbott develop a bit since being with us. So maybe we kind of jumped on a hidden gem there. He's having a really good year in real life. This slider is silly. I think it was a 70 when we got him. It just keeps getting better. It's unbelievable. Obviously, if he plays into this movement, he's an absolute monster for us. If not, obviously, could be challenged as a starter, 65. Even if it hits 65 with the 45, needs some of this movement and control to really be trusted as a starter in Coors, but at the very least should be a premium stopper in relief. And you can see Abbott's in AAA, fighting for his life, really. He has a 106 ERA plus, though. That's why numbers like ERA plus, WRC plus, they're great for scaling things, because 5.38 ERA, you instantly think that's garbage, what a loser. But this tells you that because it's 6% better than league average, the PCL is literally insane. Just an insane place to pitch. So we went through April. Crone got hurt, which was cool. And by cool, I mean bad, of course. Bard and Grichuk returned. I think one of them is gone now via trade. We had an 11-18 record. It didn't go well. May, we had an 11-game losing streak, so that was pretty cool. We did trade Jose Urena. That's right, we got somebody to take Jose Urena from us, the Phillies. And they were willing to give Dalton Guthrie. Who's that, you ask? I don't know. I don't, but he's 27 years old. He has a really good personality. Figure maybe he can boost some morale in AAA. And they were willing to give us somebody that didn't have to go on the 40-man roster for Jose Urena, who we were paying $3 million to. No, absolutely not. Hard pass. So then we picked up Nabil Krismat because he gets waived in every single sim. The Padres just have no interest in keeping him. I pick him up often, and it's about a 50-50 hit rate on him. He doesn't always pan out. I don't want to overstate it, but decent enough arm, especially on a team like ours, to where I'm interested. So we've got him in a bit of a swingman role. He's had 5 starts, 11 relief appearances for us, 5.80 ERA, 177 WHIP, but a 3.29 FIP. So tells you he's pitching better than what the results have been. Oh, and then we made a trade of Jonathan Daza, actually. And we traded him to the Diamondbacks for Carlos Vargas in just a 1-for-1. We shopped Daza. Vargas was there. I am familiar with Vargas from my Diamondback sim that I'm doing on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Sporer. And look, extreme ground ball with 75 movement, that's a lock. It's only 30 stam, only 40 control, so it's a relief profile for sure, but I like what Vargas can offer, and maybe there's a world where he develops a bit more and maybe can be more of perhaps a starter. I don't know. The stamina would obviously have to come along quite a bit. I think he got up to 40 in our universe with the D-backs, maybe just at 35, which he's in the stopper role, so I'm not stretching him as a starter anyway. Probably shouldn't expect to be able to with Vargas in Colorado, but I'll take him as a stopper. He and Abbott can be our primetime stoppers. Oh, and then German Marquez got injured. Then in June, prospects came out. I just showed them to y'all, and then we traded Randall Grichuk. And the Randall Grichuk trade. The Randall Grichuk trade was with the Dodgers, the only team that offered anything. And it was Ivan Castillo. And it was Dalton Guthrie-esque in that somebody offered something, so I took it. And I had to eat 95% of the deal because we're paying it anyway, right? If we can get anything that has an ounce of potential, we'll do it. Right? The money's paid. We're paying the money out no matter. Because I guarantee you, I tried. Nobody was doing anything where we took less than 95. I had to go all the way up to 95 to get a player to show up. It was literally a single player. Ivan Castillo was the winner. And again, didn't have to be on the 40. So that was pretty nice too. And that gets you pretty much caught up as far as big moves, because there haven't been a ton, just been a handful. Now, I told you we went 11-18 in April. 11-16 with the 2 games. Of course, you just include the March games. There's no sense breaking off March or October as their own individual records. It got worse from there. 8-20 in May, 7-20 in June. It's been a nightmare. Classic Rockies, a lot of positive ranks on the offense, and just horrendous, embarrassing ranks on the pitching side and defense. We are base running well, though. Look at that. 3rd in the league. Love to see it. It's classic Rockies right now. We're not going to turn this all over in one fell swoop. I'm not expecting that. We are 6 games under our Pythag. So, that's one thing. We're 363 win percentage at home. That's unbelievable. 1-8 in extra inning games, 4-15 in 1-run games. We're not very good, but we have also been unlucky too. And that's what happens when you can't pitch. Problem is, we're seeing no traction from anybody that's already been on the team with the pitching. Hunter Brown is holding his own, 4.62 ERA. I'll take that, man. What can you really expect from him right now? Not a whole lot. But then Freeland, Marquez, Gomber, Senzatella. The best ERA of that group is 7.12. They're all 5-something FIPS except for Senzatella, who's at 4.64. So why are these guys playing so far from their FIPS right now? Well, part of it is just Coors. The home run rates can really push you out of where your FIP is. I don't even imagine. I know the defense is part of it too, though. We're dreadful defensively. We need to protect our pitchers, and not just guys who lack swing and miss like this group, but also even guys like Brown. If we're going to be successful, we have to protect them, and we don't have that right now, but we're also at the very beginning stages. That's what I was saying earlier about how it's going to take some time. We still got Crone, Trejo, Jones, Tovar, Profar. Leon is the only new guy, and he's pretty solid defensively in center field, but even he's not what I want for the future. When this team is supposed to be good, I want better than this. And 65, 55, 65 in center is pretty darn good, but as you can see, it nets to a 55, and I want better. So we're working our way through the through the first season here. We'll get through the second half. It'll be fine, right? It's going to be an ugly season. I would imagine there'll be some regression toward the mean, to where we play a bit better in the second half, maybe record-wise. But I don't have outsized expectations. We actually do have some interesting performances in the bullpen, at least from an ERA standpoint. You start to see some numbers that don't make you immediately vomit. Ty Block, Ryan Rollison with their low 4s ERAs, although Rollison just joined the club off of rehab. Brad Hand, 27 innings of a 3 ERA. He told me he wants out. He came in my email yelling at me, and I was like, well, nobody will take you, dude. Sorry, I would love to trade you. Well, we can do another shop right now, but nobody's interested, buddy. Protein Shake is his nickname. That's probably why. That's what I keep getting back. Uh-oh, we have movement. Gerardo Reyes. He's a 98 to 100 mile an hour side armor. 30 years old. Interesting. Dylan Peters, hook 'em horns. Lefty of moderate quality. And then Silvino Bracco for the Red Sox here. 55, 45, 55. Extreme fly ball with a 45 movement. Hard pass. Like, unbelievably hard pass. I don't know if any of these are really worth it. 1.5 mil. We don't even save that much, though. It's about half that. I mean, we could get the side armor. Of course, he's going to have a nasty, nasty split. That's the problem with the side armor. I mean, we could do it just to save a few bucks and make hand a bit happier. I'm fine with that. Gerardo Reyes is about to go from normal to irate, but you know what? Come on down. Protein Shake traded. We got rid of the Protein Shake, and Gerardo Reyes is on the squad. Can we hit him with a double specialist? You just pitch against righties. Now I do have one batter minimum, so if they manage him right, he really only should be coming in against righties pretty consistently. Obviously, there will be needs with the bullpen's stamina and whatnot that says, hey, he's got to go more here and face some lefties. That's fine. I understand that, of course. Anybody on the wire here? Tony Santillan, I mean, he's got filthy stuff, but he's a fly ball pitcher, 45 movement, already pissed. Not going to be feeling much better coming over here, so we'll just let you marinate there in Coors Light in Cincinnati. So yeah, it's been tough. It's been tough. We can get into some of the performances that maybe are a little bit better. Ezequiel Tovar's having a breakout year. You know, he's not letting our ineptitude slow him down. He's got 3.5 wins at the break, a mix of quality defense and strong hitting. 134 WRC plus 11 homers, 5 steals, 5 for 9. So maybe stop. Maybe you're not so good on the base running. I imagine the defense is certainly helping as well. You would think, right? Well, 4.8 range, minus 0.4 zone. So maybe not. Maybe not that much. Maybe it is just the hitting. I wonder how he's hitting on the road. Is he just leveraging the home park? Let's see, Tovar. Home road. Oh my God. In a massive, massive way. He has an 1140 OPS at home with a 405 average, 439 OBP, and 703 slug for a 207 WRC plus. That's the takeaway number. A lot of numbers there, sorry. But 207 WRC plus. So he's like 2 slightly above league average players mushed into one. That's amazing. He's half that, a average player on the road. 57 WRC plus. Yikes. It's not going to be easy, man, to figure this puzzle out. Now, I know some of y'all have. In fact, my editor, Kim, they figured out how to find some success in Colorado. As I mentioned at the outset of this, it's something that has eluded me. I've never really been able to put together consistent success in a Colorado franchise. So we'll see if I'm able to do that this time around. You can see we are 6th because Abbott is doing very well. Romo's at 34. Abbott's 10, by the way. Romo's at 34. Adael Amador is at 49th. And Joe Rock. Oh, torn meniscus. I don't know much about Joe Rock, but he's the 76th prospect on the top 100 list here. Despite being out, man, I wonder if it's worth kind of flipping him on this prospect hike. You know? Because I mean, he's going to miss the rest of the year anyway. You can just see what's out there. Davison De Los Santos. I'm not trying to put the whole Arizona band back together. I'll get a report, though. You know, I'll just see what's up. Connor Norby from Baltimore. If he had better defense, I think I'd be interested. Let's see. Sean Burke is murked. Didn't even mean to rhyme that. I just say that word a lot. Miguel Amaya, he's all right as a catcher. I mean, you know, 60-60, that's pretty good. Good eye. Seen him pan out before. You play enough, you see pretty much every, worthwhile prospect pan out in some form or fashion. Probably somebody, I just can't think of the name. There's nobody that I have pinpointed, but there's probably somebody who never pans out as a prospect, just always flopping. Isaac Pacheco is available right now. Whoa, I almost knocked over my water. Gangly arms, man. My water isn't really that close, but when you just got gangle for days, just a casual move, and you might be knocking shit over. So, boy, obviously we have low quality on this scouting report here. We can get a report in a week. I think you could shave off 15, 20 points. I mean, actually 20, 25, I would say. I think if he's a 65 potential based on the quality bat. I mean, our guy thinks he's already, damn near capable of the majors. Certainly ready to go to the PCL with the low, though. So I think we need to wait the week. But Isaac Pacheco might be coming our way for Joe Rock. I'm trying to figure out what the allure of Rock is. Is it just that his name is Joe Rock, which is, kind of cool? Because I'm missing it a little bit. I get why he's, a starter. He's capable. 260s on his pitches. Pretty good lefty. But 50, 55, 50 is the top projection. At 22, maybe you slap an extra 5 somewhere on a couple of the categories. Sure. But dang, I don't know. I'm wondering where the extra projection comes in to make him a top 100 guy. I don't know. I'm willing to sell high here, though. Willing to sell high. What else do we have available? Well, we got a lot of stuff here, so we got to keep scrolling. Because there's another blue. So, Wencio, Perez, Parker Meadows. The Tigers are interested. Let's just say that right now. And let's collect some scouting reports here. We're not going to make this move regardless of what we see here. Unless there's just an automatic slam dunk. Like if Pacheco was on high scouting accuracy, we would have taken him. So if we see something like that is that high potential on high or very high scouting accuracy, then I would take it right here, right now. I doubt we're going to see that from anybody. Khalil Watson. Now here's a guy. So I go full group. Now here's a guy. At Collinsworth. They both kind of do that one, huh? But Watson is a guy who, one of the worst panouts I've ever seen was in my Marlins franchise, which was such a bummer because I've seen him be so awesome. He evolved into a superstar. I picked him up right as he was hitting that superstar cusp for my Austin Dillos, an expansion team that we did. Only got a year with him because we won the World Series and then that one kind of faded. But yeah, interesting profile here though. And I overuse the word interesting because I'm meaning it negatively here, and other times I mean it positively. It's just kind of a crutch word. It's a weird profile. How about that? The lack of gap with all that contact and a bit of punch is bizarre to me. Because I wonder, how much does speed play into the gap power ability, right? That you can kind of make your doubles, make your triples. This is weird. It's very weird. So we'll get the scouting report. We'll see what it says. But Khalil Watson, at least on the board. Jordan Groshans, his power never really comes along. I'm not even really going to scout him because the defense isn't good enough either. I'm not really a believer. I like the play profile. That I in avoid K, that's pretty good with the contact. You can get a quality player, but it's always going to be a little muted. And if there was quality big-time defense there, that's a different story. I'd take on some of this, especially in our park, maybe leverage the batting average upside with the quality plate skills. But it's pretty modest defensive. It's a 55 over at third. It's okay because the arm is really nice. But I'm trying to get 60s at the minimum on the infield and in the outfield, really. We want some 70s up the middle. We're trying to go heavy on the defense. By the way, that is a negative for Pacheco too. I want to point that out. I didn't want to gloss over that. Why are you crushing Groshans and you didn't say anything about Pacheco? He's either going to be first base or DH. I'm just looking off this batting profile being so strong for a pitching prospect that while we need every ounce of pitching, I'm not too hung up on moving Pacheco. Let me just say that. All right, moving Joe Rock. for Pacheco and many other guys that we're seeing here. This is a good set of returns, potentially. Michael Garcia from KC. Now, he's got the glove working a bit. I think it would have to be better to take on 30 power, though. Such an empty bat that I think I'd want 65s down the line here. He's got the quad 60s, which is nice. Translates to a really sharp second baseman. But I need a little bit more from the bat. I will do my due dilly, and I'll scoop a scouting report. But it's probably a no there. Kind of scanning through some other folks here. I've seen Landon Knack. Dodgers always looking to move him. Seen him become something pretty nice. And, I mean, it's got stopper written all over it. Quality stopper. But I think we're getting better from others, so I might be interested in Knack for something else, but probably not in this Joe Rock deal. Jansen Junk. I think one time I'm just going to do a sim where I'm going to give him, like, the sickest, nastiest stuff, but, like, no fastball and no velo, and just see if Jansen Junk can junk his way to, like, an all-star bid. We're not even gonna improve the movement and control on their own. We're just gonna pump up all the nasty pitches and then just see where it takes them. Not in this world, but I gotta remember to do that. I think that would be fun. Can Jansen's junk get him there? Or will Dick Fitz overtake him? How wild is it that we see Richard Fitz right as we're making junk jokes? He's got some junk too. 60, 55, 65. Not bad. Old Dick Fitz probably not going to be the fit for us. Luis Heel. I've turned Luis Heel into a stud before. His stuff is just off the charts. Not for this org. He's not a fit for the Rockies. Vias. Raw. Very raw prospect here. Leonel Ovias. Am I saying that name right? Probably not. You got a pronunciation improvement for me on any name, please let me know. I just want to say names properly. So I try to check them and everything, try to be on top of it. If I say one wrong, though, I don't mind being corrected because I don't want to sound like a dipshit. By the way, Paul Skeens putting up a monstrous performance to open up the College World Series for LSU. What a stud. Let's see here. Who's Mike Vasile? He's kind of bland. He's kind of Joe Rock himself. Why isn't he the 70 whatever prospect? Rubendi Jaquez? Nope. Dalton Jeffries already 27. Medina's probably got some live stuff. Yeah, 98 to 100. Has no idea where it's going. Definitely feels like a relief profile. But the A's in real life are very smart for keeping him in the rotation and seeing what's what. You start a guy like that until you can't. They're going nowhere. They're kind of like us this year. We should be starting guys like that where we, if we have some live arms that we pretty much think are going to be in the bullpen, we should still be starting them just because why not? See what you got, see if something develops. Henry Davis and Nick Gonzalez, these are two guys that, when they were drafted, lots of hype, but it's really tailed. Gonzalez was a 7th overall pick. Davis was a 1-1. And their ceilings have definitely dropped a bit as they've kind of established themselves a bit in pro ball. And you get it. I mean, they're both going to be major leaguers, I think, pretty easily. And that's something, too, when you're getting major league time. And if they can stick around for a while, that'll be great. But neither looks like they're going to get anywhere near the original ceiling that was projected for them. And by the way, few guys do. I kind of calling them out as if I'm like putting a target on them. No, that just kind of happens on. You just happen to see two guys paired pretty close together that have been recently drafted. Were they drafted 2 years apart? 21 and Gonzalez was 19? Was 20. Okay, so yeah, they were drafted a year apart. Their last two, they're a couple years ago, 1 and 2 picks. Or one, geez, I can't speak right. They're number 1 picks for 2 running years. Will Bednar. I feel like I'm just going through and talking about what I used to do with these guys because I did turn him into a stud reliever one year, one sim, and he was just monstrous. I'm obsessed with the stopper role. I talk about it all the time. So I see a guy with like great stuff and a little bit of extra stamina. I mean, this is legit starter stamina here at a 55, but give me anything 35 and higher with some stuff, and I'll see what I can work it into. And good chance that if we got the right coaches, we can turn them into just devastating stoppers. Get triple-digit innings from relievers that just can't quite start. I'm so here for it. Vidal Brujan, man, I was such a fan of his. Really, really wanted him to pan out. At age 25, he's not done. I'm not saying it's locked and loaded that he won't, but we're getting to a point where we've lowered the ceiling. The expectations really aren't there. If he can be a utility player for a while now, that's probably what they're expecting, the Rays. Kumar Rocker, really feel bad for him in real life, man. It just hasn't gone well. Down with TJ now. But in our video game world, there's still a lot of upside here. I'm going to get a scouting report, and he's better than Joe Rock. So I don't really know why the Rangers would do this, but they would. So, and we're not playing on the easiest trade difficulty either. I'm not trying to get rip-off trades. But the reason that I still will take some that I'm like, well, this looks like a slam dunk for us, is because, first off, there's the factor that the computer GMs are analyzing differently than your scout, right? So what you see isn't always how the other team necessarily values them. And two, there's other times when I think I'm giving away some great asset and I can't get a single bite, right? So it's never just automatic deal everywhere, ripping the computer off or anything. So they give us a cookie every once in a while, I'm going to take it, because sometimes they really jam you up and you can't even move like some quality player that you have at age 26 who's just kind of in a 40-man crunch, and you're like, well, let me get a little something, and they're just like, no. So that's why sometimes, a deal like this in a 1-for-1, you're like, that's not really matching. But it's that our scout values Rocker, and so does the league, by the way, because he's a higher prospect. But maybe the Texas scout sees Joe Rock as not the 76th prospect, but the 26th. There is that element to it. And then when you look at them side by side, you see it's a bit closer. It is still clearly in Rocker's favor with 10 stuff, 10 movement, and -5 control as far as their potentials. But you can see how there's a world where maybe Texas sees him as more of like 55 stuff, 65 movement, and 50 control, and then it's much closer or whatever. Addison Barger doesn't play defense. Yeah, bad play profile too. Jeffrem, old Jeffrem, we got him with the Reds. He was a monster. He became an ace in that world. Really, really good. And then Jackson Butledge, I turned him into a stopper. I could turn him into it. I could do it. It'd be a great stopper. So we've got some pieces. We'll collect some of those scouting reports. See what comes back. Joe Rock will almost certainly not be on this team the next time we check in. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the draft, the trade deadline, insofar as it's going to be anything, because nobody's really interested. We've had some guys on the wire, on the trade block, pretty much all year. Marquez, Blackman, Freeland, Bard, we already traded Grichuk, Profar if they want him, Senzatella. Probably not going to be able to move Freeland or Senzatella for anything. That's okay. We're going to eat that. Crone, if folks want him. Pierce Johnson, I don't think is actually on the block, but I'm going to make him on the block. I might not have put Crone on the block either. Wait, what did I just do? What did I just do? Who was that? I don't know why did things readjust? That's what I don't know. That tripped me up. How come when I put Pierce Johnson on the block, I think it just reordered them. The spots where there were ties, if I click it like that, it adjusts them. But then if you click something else, it reorders the ties. Okay, sorry. I had to figure that out. I'm an insane person. So anyway, we're going to try to cut some salary where we can. In fact, we'll eat if we have to, again, just to get something, because why not? We have to pay these anyway. It is a sunk cost. Now, I don't really want to do that with guys that are making money for next year. So, we might eat a little bit on Bard if we can move him, but I'm not trying to eat a bunch of that. So, Blackman, Profar, Crone, Lamette. I'll eat it. We ate it all with uranium. Oh yeah, that's right, with the 3 mil. We didn't even save the 3 mil there, excuse me, for Dalton Guthrie. But you know what? That's fine. I think he's better than Castillo. And then on the Castillo deal, we ate 95. So we're just trying to get players, right? And even if we don't move out of the money, we get assets. I wonder if Moustakas will have any heat. He's been a bit below average. They've been so unimpressive. If he could have just spiked a little bit of a run because he makes nothing, that would have been pretty slick if we could have turned him into something. So anyway, next episode, we will have Joe Rock trade, the trade deadline, the draft, and then the end of the season, and then we'll set up for the 2024 offseason. Again, this first season does not need to be lingered in, so we're not going to do like a separate draft episode or anything like that. I'll cover what I do in the draft and everything next episode, but I think moving through season 1 quicker than not is the right way to play it with a team that is so clearly on a rebuild. We're 31-60. The season is over as far as that goes. We're just trying to get things back on track. Oh, and I want to check one thing. All right, so they're unhappy right now. There were some complaints about leadership. I brought up Nolan Jones as a captain because we didn't have one. That seems to have tamped things down. They moved up a little bit. I forget what the tag was, but they were a little bit lower than this. So team chemistry getting a little bit better. That's good. We just don't want a bunch of fighting here. We got the staff looking cohesive as a happy unit there. We don't have any money because they're cheap bastards. So that's where we're at. I lowered the prices. We got more season tickets out of it, but not more revenue per game. So maybe I lowered them too much. I don't think anybody's going to really want to come, but I'm going to raise them up a little bit more and we'll just kind of deal with what we got. Anyway, that's episode 2. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Peace.